6 insane storm moments caught on camera. We hope you are prepared for a nerve-wracking, bone-chilling experience, for you are in for a scary ride today. Today we are bringing you the top 6 scariest moments of storms caught on camera. Fasten your seatbelts and prepare yourselves for a bumpy ride. Stay tuned until the very end, for you guys are in for a real treat. We bring to you something very rare, a little fire raining down from the heavens. Paulo Coelho once said, "The more fierce the storm, the quicker it passes." While he might have been correct, I can guarantee you that these are storms you wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of, regardless of the duration. You should thank your lucky stars and pray to God, for you have never had to experience a storm like the ones we are going to be discussing today. Moving on, let's start with our number 1, the Colorado hailstorm. Oh well, lame you might think, but wait, it gets really interesting. Colorado is famous for being prone to hail showers, but this one was something else entirely. It is the costliest disaster that the state has ever witnessed, with over $2 billion in damages. How does hail and literal snow pellets lead to such an expansive tragedy? Let's find out. When we think of hail, it's just pellets raining down for a few moments and that's about it. But this guy here got really unlucky when he got caught in the middle of the hailstorm while driving his car. The entire experience was recorded on his mobile camera, and luckily so, for who would otherwise believe the amount of damage incurred that was due to the hail? Certainly not his insurance agency. Look at how the continuous hail shower broke his windshield and every glass surface of the car into bits and pieces. Thank the car manufacturer for their tensile strength, or else it would have been a shower of glass hitting the guy instead of hail. Talk about wanting a sunroof for the car, huh? Coming closer to home, let's take a look at the Uttarakhand flash floods from 2013. I'm pretty sure that you've seen many gut-wrenching videos from the disaster, but here's one more for you. A midday cloudburst led to this, a once calm river turning into a treacherous and massive flood, with levels rising several feet above the supposed river bank and the safe levels. You can just imagine the power of the flow. It is very evident in the footage with the water gushing, but this gets worse because in a few seconds you'll see how the building on the right, a fully fledged structure, collapses like a house of cards due to the water crashing around its foundations. One of the deadliest floods in history, the worst natural disaster of India with devastating consequences. It recorded a death toll of 6,000 people and over 38,000 missing. Now we wouldn't want you to think that it's only water that can wreak such havoc, alright? So let's move on to the other elements, starting with wind or the air. And here we bring to you a Category 5 hurricane. But before proceeding any further, drop down into the comment section down below and tell us how you've liked the video so far. If you're new, do subscribe to Just Scary for more amazing content in the future. Coming back to the disturbing videos, we have a Category 5 hurricane caught on camera by a resident of the town. You can watch the video and almost feel the speed and strength of the wind, with every structure bent and almost bowing. Salute to the palm trees and their resilience, for they would spring back up, bent but not broken after the storm. You can hear the wind howling, and is it just me, or does it sound like the wind is screaming bloody murder? The whooshing alone sounds like a song of dread, and that is enough to realize how much power is behind the wind. Now buckle up for a shock. There, look at that building on the right. You'll find a portion of the roof blown off, and then the wind picks up again, moving on to the next target, the building on the left, blowing off another roof, and then back to the first one. It's prying off the roofs as effortlessly as picking sheets of paper. Would you have ever thought that the calm breeze we love could turn into such a treacherous element? I can only imagine what the residents inside, who might have been trapped, would feel like. Sardines in a box, maybe? This isn't even the only storm that has wreaked such havoc, and it's very common for such a spread of death and destruction to be left behind in the wake of a hurricane. The moral of the story is run to a basement when a hurricane warning is broadcasted. Next up, once again we have the wrath of Poseidon to blame as we face the deadly tsunami of 2011 in Japan. Tsunamis are in general very alarming and are supposed to be very dangerous disasters owing to their sudden nature and limited warning systems. But this one here crossed all lines, literally. The water levels rising from the natural ocean level to the alert line of the seawall took hardly a few minutes, and now that they're up to the highest level of the seawall, it is going to pose a problem. The water soon started overflowing across the barriers, and now it looks like the ocean might reclaim the city. Look at this flow which is dragging these ships along the waves from the open waters to the shoreline. With the waters toying with the ships and the cargo containers, it is a race for survival for the crew. Thank the stars for small mercies, for had the vessels been carried across the sea wall and overturned on the city roads, it would have had disastrous consequences. With the water pouring over the sea wall, and now that the water is in the city itself and on the roads, it's not just the ships that are being dragged along. As you can see with the flooding of the roads, every vehicle is floating and off go the cars. Somebody's going to have a hard time finding their vehicle come the next day, as they are being used as domino blocks by the ocean. At last, for a grand finale to these terrifying tragedies, we have something that you've been waiting for, what I like to call rising fire to the heavens. Something which is rarely ever caught on camera is a firenado, which is literally a fire tornado. This one here was captured by a rescue crew traveling via helicopter over Kansas, known as the Redding Fire Whirl. It is one of the largest ones to be ever recorded. The firewall grew up to 18,500 feet in height and gained a wind speed of up to 143 miles per hour. As is imaginable, it wreaked a great deal of havoc on the city. Double trouble, you may call it, as it not only just burnt everything along its path, but the winds of the tornado blew apart several structures as well. Kudos to the firefighting team for their prompt response, which controlled the tragedy, which may have played out even worse than it did. One thing is for sure, if I ever see that thing coming towards me, I'm running like hell and not looking back. Coming up next, we move to the ocean, and let's check out what storms look like when there's water all around you. The ocean independently is an eerie place to be. Add to it adverse weather conditions, and you have a recipe for disaster. Here we witness a hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean, which was captured on camera by the cabin crew. This chemical tanker was transporting a shipment across continents when, in the middle of the ocean, it was caught in a nerve-wracking red alert, a storm due to a hurricane. The ship was assaulted by massive waves, so intense and so powerful that it's a miracle the ship did not turn over. Here you can see the waves crashing along the bow and the keel. If this was scary, wait and watch as the waters rush through the deck and smash into the bridge. On the other side of the glass windows, I'm pretty sure the crew would have been praying to God and thanking the dependable craftsmanship. Such insane storms in the sea, and people are surprised when we claim that the ocean is terrifying. So now that we've delivered on our promise of the 6 scariest storms caught on camera, it's time for a wrap-up. If you feel that your appetite for scares is yet to be sated, click on our other videos with deathly scares. Check out our channel, as it is perfect for you if you're a pure adrenaline junkie and scary bits are your cup of tea. If this video thrilled you, drop down below and click on the subscribe button and the bell icon. Follow us for more interesting content in the future and receive regular updates. We'll be back soon with a new video. Until then, feel free to browse through our channel.